Oh, hello. My name is Mara, and welcome to Books Like Whoa. Whew, guys, because of Thanksgiving reasons, I'm filming 9 videos today. This is my second one, and I can already tell the struggle is going to be real. So I'm hoping I can still have some energy by the end of the day. I'm going to try to break my filming up into kind of 3 chunks to keep things a little fresher, but yeah, anyway, this should be fun. But luckily this is a video type that I really enjoy filming, and I know that you guys really enjoy watching these. It is unhaul time because it is Thanksgiving, and so in our family we do not do any of the glorifying the pilgrims bullshit stuff for Thanksgiving. For us, we really focus on just this is a fall harvest, and it's a time, if you're a country that does not celebrate Thanksgiving, basically this is just the American and Canadian version of a fall harvest, and it's a time to gather with your family and eat a big feast and reflect on what you are thankful for in the last year. And it's been one of the worst 365 days I've had so far in my life, but I definitely still have things to be thankful for. My dad is in remission as of this week, which is really exciting. I'm really enjoying doing all this booktube stuff. This has been such a fun hobby and a really good kind of escape for me. And yeah, I think that there's also some exciting things kind of in my future that I can't talk about yet, but I'm also looking forward with hope and thankfulness. So I'm in a thankful kind of spirit, and I think part of being thankful for things that you have is also being willing to let go of things that you don't need, or that are not necessarily being constructive or positive in your life at that point. And for me, part of that is being willing to let go of books that I am thankful that I had for a time, but now it is time to let go. So this is my Thanksgiving book unhaul. And most of these books are conversion books in terms of I had them in one form and now I am going to have them in a new form. But there's a few other categories, so we'll start with those smaller categories and then move into the bigger ones. So first we have books that I have read but that I am now letting go. The first of this is Death in the Clouds by Agatha Christie. Now you may be thinking, you love Agatha Christie, why are you getting rid of this book? It's a paperback. This is not one of my favorite Agatha Christies, so I don't need to have it on hand necessarily, and I'd rather wait to get it in either ebook form or hardback form. Next up is When Dimple Met Rishi by Sandhya Menon, and you guys will have seen my thoughts about this in my what I'm reading right now. My thoughts are not the popular thoughts, and I'm sorry about that, but you know what, I really wanted to try this, and I'm glad I got the chance to do that, and yeah. I know that a lot of people like this, so I'm glad to take it to the used bookstore where I'm sure it will get some love from someone. And then finally, one other book that I've read that I'm getting rid of is 75 Short Masterpieces. This is a collection of some of the most famous short stories, and yeah, I just don't need this. Actually, a ton of these short stories I can find just online somewhere if I so choose, and it's a mass market. I just don't need it. I can get rid of it. The next category is books that I have never read but I'm just getting rid of, and I only have one this time, and this is a book I got for free at grad school. It was called Planted, A Story of Creation, Calling, and Community by Leah, Kostamo. I'm sure that this is lovely. I just not gonna read it, and that's fine. So the next category is books that I had in physical form and that I now have in e-form, either in e-books or e-audiobooks in some cases. So the one that I converted to an e-audiobook is The Third Girl by Agatha Christie. So I really have been enjoying using audiobooks to do my Project Poirot, and yeah, I would rather have that than a kind of cheap mass market, so I'm unhauling this one and just going to an audiobook version. Next is The Search by Nora Roberts. Do you know how on Amazon credit or Amazon stuff, sometimes you get an email being hey, this lawsuit has been settled and now you have $5 of ebook credit for whatever reason? I got one of those emails, and so I decided to go ahead and convert this particular one to an ebook just because it's one of my favorite standalone thrillers from her. And yeah, I'm trying, my focus right now is very much trying to convert my paperbacks into hardbacks that I want to do that for, and so especially mass market. So I was glad to be able to convert this one. Blue Like Jazz, this is a lot of people, a big favorite with a lot of people. It's not one of my favorites, and so therefore when I saw that this was a reasonably priced ebook, I thought I definitely don't need a hard copy. I'm happy to have this as an ebook. I didn't realize that I had this as an ebook. I totally have forgotten that I had done that at some point, so I was yeah, get rid of this big bulky paperback and not have to worry about lugging this around anymore. That is a win. The Dark Tower and Other Stories by C.S. Lewis. It makes me a little sad because, like, I have a lot of his books in this particular form and they look nice all together, but it is a paperback and I am very much trying to get out of the business of paperback. So when I saw this was an ebook, I thought this is not necessarily one of his, like, major things that I need to have as a physical book. So glad to do that one. And finally, I am very excited to get rid of the terrible cover of this particular book, Changes That Heal by Dr. Henry Cloud. Now, I would recommend this. This is probably one of the best self-help books that I've ever read. I really like it. If it does have a lot of, like, Christian stuff in it, so if that's not your jam, I still think you could actually read this and get things out of it. Just, like, skim past where he has literally, like, pages of Bible references, and you'll also have to get past some of the sin talk. But other than that, I think that this has some, like, really helpful kind of categories of, like, problems that people have, and I recommend it. But I'm glad to be rid of this, like, cringe-inducing cover and just have it as an ebook. Now on to books that I've converted from one physical form to another. So the first, let's just talk about C.S. Lewis. So I've got 4 different Narnia books here. I now have the entirety of this series in hardback, which I'm just very happy about. So these are all going. And then I also got, oh yeah, you've seen, I did a conversion to Mere Christianity in a nice hardback version. So that is 5 C.S. Lewis books that I converted to hardback. So the reason why I have so many copies of Sherlock Holmes that I am now getting rid of, because I finally have, like, a nice single hardback edition, is complicated. So it turns out that finding all of the short stories and not just, like, a select few is quite difficult to do in hardback, and this is really, like, the most popular edition with all of the stuff in it, but they're mass markets and they're, like, falling apart. So I got a volume 2 and thought, well, maybe I can find the volume 1 used, but I couldn't, and then I realized I could find one in just, like, one edition. So anyway, all that to say, consolidating these are all going to the used bookstore. And if you guys remember my last haul, I found all these really cool, like, matching Agatha Christie editions. So these 2 hardbacks of Agatha Christie, I mean, I'm sad because they're nice hardbacks, but yeah, they don't match my new editions, so they're gonna go away. And then we have 4, like, favorites of mine that I've converted to hardback from paperback. So the first is Gilead. Picked up a hardback of this at the used bookstore. Club Dumas by Arturo Perez-Reverte. Also picked up a nice hardback copy at the used bookstore. And then these 2 I ordered because I saw that they went on a deal on Amazon. So I have The Catcher in the Rye in hardback now, and My Life in France by Julia Child, which is my all-time favorite memoir. I have this in hardback as well. So a lot of new hardbacks came into my collection in the last, 4 to 6 weeks. Hey guys, this is the day after I was filming my Unhaul, and I did a little research last night because I was kind of, grumbling to myself of, ugh, I'm so sick of having all these mass markets of the psy-changeling, I can't wait for those to go on sale, and so I started really looking at the numbers and realized that I'm basically waiting right now for a $16 savings on these 8 books, realistically, and if I look at kind of the pattern of them going on sale, it's just not that probable that it's going to happen anytime soon. So I decided that I'm willing to take the risk of that $16 just to get the shelf space back for these 8 mass markets. So I'm going to be unhauling those, and I have purchased the ebook instead. And likewise for Magic Burns, right now it's at $5.99, which is, for better or for worse, a pretty good target price for that particular book. And yeah, I basically just don't want to wait for this theoretical thing that may never happen, or could happen, whatever. I just want that space back. So I'm going to go ahead and unhaul all 9 of these books because I have the ebook now. So that does it. Not as big of an unhaul as I have been known to do, but just for your reference, 1 second. This is the book that this is the bag that I keep upstairs, which you guys just are not going to be able to see in its full glory, but I keep this bag upstairs next to my computer where I kind of do all of my, like, book stat management stuff, and I make it my goal to fill up this bag of books to get rid of every time I go to visit my parents, which is, roughly, let's say, every 4 to 8 weeks, depending on how life is going. And I find that's a really nice way to kind of keep yourself focused and say, like, yeah, I am committed to trying to keep things moving. So, you know, I would say maybe like pick a special bag that you do that for and pick a time frame and just make it your goal. If you have a lot of books and you want to have fewer, I think that gives you sort of like a concrete reminder that that's what you're trying to do. And yeah, it helps you kind of stay on task. So my bag is full. Like, my bag is full of books. Even though this is not my biggest unhaul I've ever done, it's still quite a few books because that is quite a large bag. But anyway, this is Thanksgiving week. If you are here in America, if you are Canadian, you already did your Thanksgiving. You've already been thankful, you're done. But this week we are being thankful here in the US. So if you are in the US, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, but in particular those of you who are celebrating it this week. And yeah, I will have a video up on Thanksgiving that is a book buying guide, and because we're about to hit like Black Friday madness, so I thought that might be helpful. So you will get a video from me on Thanksgiving, and yeah, strap yourself in because I'm looking at my pile of books to recommend, and it is large. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, follow me on the social medias if you are so inclined. I have all of that information listed in the description box below. But other than that, I think that's gonna do it for me. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. Happy Thanksgiving, and I will just talk to you soon. Bye!